This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Gundam Lorecast, where we take a deep dive into the Mobile Suit Gundam series, such as the multiple timelines, mobile suits, characters, and so much more. Welcome, everyone, to our first start of this amazing podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Temeria, which, if you listen to other podcasts, you might know my name from either the Witcher Lorecast, the Wizarding World Lorecast, Holocron Histories, or the Final Fantasy Lorecast. And with me today is my co-host, Jesse.
How's it going?
And we came together to bring everyone a Lorecast and a podcast for Mobile Suit Gundam. I'm super excited to start this because Gundam has been a huge influence in my life. I don't know about you, Jesse, but
it's probably what got me into anime to begin with. So,
yeah, I would say the same thing for me. I would say Pokemon really got me into anime, but a lot of people, growing up, you didn't know Pokemon was an anime. Us growing up, we didn't know what was cartoon or what was anime. So, but yeah, Gundam was probably what really got me into anime, specifically Mobile Fighter G Gundam. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I would say it's probably Wing when it first came out that got me into it.
Oh, yeah. I watched a bit of Wing, but Mobile Fighter is probably where it coincided with what I liked growing up, which was DBZ, and there was a lot of just robot fighting robot kind of a thing. It was awesome.
Yeah, looking back at Wing, it's hard for me to think of, I'm like, I was a kid and I was watching all these politics.
Right. That's what I think. With Gundam Wing, yes, it was the first Gundam series that was really introduced in the US. But was it the most successful one in the US at the time? Yes, it was successful, but it had a lot of politics, a lot of, things that you wouldn't think you would see on a 3 p.m. TV block.
Yeah, that's probably what it would be.
G Fighter, yes, there was politics involved, but every episode had a Gundam fighting another Gundam.
Right. It's not like where you're catching, oh, well, this is this whole state event where they're going to go through this whole conversation and you're not going to see a Gundam.
Right. Oh, yeah. Which is a lot of times the first, couple episodes after you first see a Gundam. There's episode 1, and then 2 and 3 is just, state talk.
Yep. And that's
definitely... Oh, okay, that's cool. But, yes, we are bringing this podcast together to tell everyone and explain the Gundam lore as much as possible. Gundam, as if nobody knows, this year, being 2024, is the 45th anniversary year for Mobile Suit Gundam. So Gundam has been around for a very long time.
It is wild to think about how long that actually is.
Oh, it's crazy. Growing up with it, and I was like, you never know. And then they did this year, and it's like, oh yeah, it's 45th anniversary. It's like, oh, okay. And then it's also the 30th anniversary for Mobile Fighter G Gundam. It's as old as I am.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, oh,
also wild.
Crap. But yeah, we wanted to bring this show together and explain all the different stuff in the Gundam lore with all the different, there's a bunch of different timelines that we're going to dive into. If anybody here has listened to the Final Fantasy Lorecast that I do, with that show, we do a season style format, which we are going to implement for this show. So after this episode, which this episode is Meet the Host, so we introduce ourselves, what got us into Gundam, why we like it, and stuff like that. But with the show structure as it is, Season 1, which will be in this episode, will be What is Gundam? So We're going to talk about the franchise, the different timelines, and explain what Gundam truly is. And then all the influential parts that Gundam has had on culture. There's a lot of influence in Japanese culture, but Gundam has made a lot of influence in the U.S. culture. So
It's kind of wild when you think about, like, we have all the anime from back when we were kids, like Dragon Ball and
mhm.
Pokemon and all those that influenced us, but I feel like Gundam maybe doesn't get the respect it deserves as
Oh,
something that
absolutely,
brought
yeah.
so much to America.
Oh yeah. Gundam has influenced a lot to where if anybody read the book Ready Player One, the RX-78, which is codenamed Gundam, is in the book, which they actually animated into the was it 2021 or 2020? It was in the up there in the years. It's been the last couple years.
I don't remember if it
Uh,
was right before pandemic or right after, but
yeah, I can't remember exactly when the movie came out, but in Ready Player One, we see a live action RX-78 Gundam, which is freaking amazing. And when I saw it in theaters, and when the character says uh, said Gundam, and I was like, no, and did the whole
mhm.
entire Gundam versus Mechagodzilla. That was awesome, and I was like,
So much
okay,
fun to watch.
Legendary Pictures, please do a live action Mobile Suit Gundam movie or show or something, because I need it.
I would definitely watch. Like
Oh yeah,
it just be something
which,
for fun.
funny enough, after that film came out, Sunrise did announce they are
Right.
producing a live action either movie or Netflix show. It's one of the shows. It's going to be on Netflix regardless, with Legendary Pictures to do a live action Gundam. Which I don't know if that might have transferred into Requiem for Vengeance. I don't know.
Don't know, actually.
That is a
But
question.
that definitely is. Be something for us to find out before it comes out for sure.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do with season one. What is Gundam? We're going to talk about how the franchise influenced everything, how it started, and dive deeper into that with later episodes as I write the episode notes. So there's that. Uh, but for everybody to know us, as I said in the beginning, my name's Brandon, or Ben of Temeria. You might know me, as I said at the beginning, from multiple podcasts on the Robots Radio Network, as well as even a patron on the patron chats for the Elder Scrolls Lorecast. So, yeah, this is podcast number 5 that I'm hosting. So, it's like tattoos. You make one, you get one, you then start wanting to make more, and it becomes addictive and all that. And for
Part of me
anybody who,
wonders,
oh, go
I
on.
say, part of me wonders how you have time
No,
to
that's
do it.
that's literally what everybody says. Like, how the heck do you have time to do another show on top of doing 4 other shows? It's like, well, in the place where I work in retail, I write my own schedule, so therefore I make my own time, which is
Fair
nice.
enough.
But I also am an aspiring voice actor, so with that, doing podcasts really helps me to reach out to people and stuff like that with voiceover. So, which is also a nice little thing. So it's kind of a twofer,
Definitely makes sense.
right?
I mean, there's not a whole lot that people are going to know me from right now because this is the first podcast that I'm on. But you can also find me over on my Twitch. It's Lord Tenebra. Other than that, and right now it's been kind of dormant. It's going to be kicking back up real soon, but as I start to get some more things together so I can actually stream. But
Right. Yeah, and
uh,
yeah. So go. What was your Twitch channel again?
Lord Tenebra.
Lord Tenebra. So go
So
follow twitch.tv/Lord Tenebra. Go follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Ben of Temeria, to where we live stream these episodes every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So it is going to follow up Holocron Histories on Tuesdays. So if you like Star Wars, come at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can watch Star Wars, which then leads into Gundam. Which is
which
kind
I
of
mean,
funny.
You
because
think about some of the early Gundam
Star Wars
weapons.
kind of influenced Gundam a bit,
Yeah,
which it
just
actually
especially
did, which is fun.
think about like that beam saber and
Space, a lot of space stuff.
yeah.
Interesting. It's just instead of magical force powers, you have giant mechs fighting the crap out of each other.
All we're missing is giant space Sasquatches like Chewbacca.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. But being the 45th anniversary, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of really cool stuff coming out this year for Mobile Suit Gundam. So not only do we have, we're in August as we're recording this. At the end of the month, we have Gundam Breaker 4 finally coming out.
I'm ready.
Oh, if I don't die from hiccups. But
Hopefully not.
yeah, Gundam Breaker 4 is finally releasing after I completely forgot. So I looked it up earlier today. New Gundam Breaker came out in 2018. I thought it was earlier than that for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that. That
No,
didn't
we don't. We don't.
exist.
We
It
don't. We
never
don't.
came out.
No, we don't really. It's been 7, almost 8 years since a good Gundam Breaker. Almost a decade from the last good Gundam Breaker. So we New Gundam Breaker
We're
is this
due.
thing, but we don't talk about it. If you want to go play a Gundam Breaker game that's not Gundam Breaker 4, pick up Gundam Breaker 3. You can find English subtitle versions of it. It is an international copy, so if you play on it's only on PlayStation, PS4, PS5. But it is also like in Japanese controls, so the O is the select button and the X is the no button. Which I found out that X is a symbol put up like in Japanese culture. The X they use to say no.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now. To where now on PS5, regardless what PS5 game you get and play, it's all the controls are the same regardless. They changed it just to be easy on everybody.
Makes life a lot easier when you can do that.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Gundam Breaker 4 finally releases. If you do, you can play early. So, if you listen to this episode when it drops on Thursday, the 8th, there is going to be a network test that Saturday. You can go to Gundam Info's website and find out the sortie dates that you can pre-download now as you listen to this. But the times are weird. If you're on the Pacific time, it's really weird and really early. Session 1's at 2
That's not
a.m. to
us.
5 a.m. Pacific time. Which is like,
I'm glad that's not me.
right? We're Eastern, so it's 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. for us.
Much better.
And I was like, okay, that's better. But I'm not going to get up at 5 in the morning to play this game.
No. It's going to limit time, but
Well, and I looked at the times earlier today when I leaving work, and it's really weird where this is the last network test we are getting till the launch of the game. So to tie people over, and it's really just to show off diorama mode, which they weren't able to do in the first network test, and they're doing. And I think they're adding other missions in that weren't in the first North American network test as well. But the
okay.
third session, because it's on 3 sessions and they're timed sessions, which is, by the way, super weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, not a
If you're going to
fan.
stress test something, leave it open all day. Like,
I feel like that's how it should be done.
right. Don't stress test on specific times because that's just weird. But with the first open network test, the third session was open for like 22 hours or something like that straight. I was like, okay, this is what a network test should be like. It should be
Right.
open all day. Where the third session for this one's not so much. It's really weird unless they change it later, which I'm kind of hoping they do. Is like, hey, we'll just
Yeah.
open it up for like 20 some hours and just have people play it just to play it.
It would be nice. I am really hopeful that that's what they've brought with them on their base tour of America.
Oh yes, and that's another really cool thing that we both get to experience here in the next week. Gundam, the Gundam base is doing a USA mobile tour, which I've never seen before ever.
Never.
They haven't done this before. This is I think the first time they've ever done this, and they're going to different states and setting up a miniature Gundam base at and I think all but 2 locations is a hobby town. So, which is really cool. And you can go to the Gundam info website as well, find this info, and you can see the tour dates. So, if it's in a city near you, by all means go, because it's I think
For sure.
I think it ends in October.
Yeah, I think
Depending on where it's at.
the first
First
stop is
week I
this
think was
weekend.
this weekend's the first stop.
And then next weekend it's here.
Yep.
And then
Which I'm so super excited because by going to this event, there's going to be exclusive Gundam based products that
yep.
we normally don't get, which we're already planning on buying some. So there's
for
that.
sure.
There's a photo op with the Gundam statue. There's another gun. I don't know if there's one Gundam statue or 2 Gundam statues. I don't know. Then you get a free workshop kit, which is really cool.
Yeah.
There's going to be video game play tests as well as a VR demos, which is really cool. So I bet you they're going to have Silver Phantom. Is it Silver Phantom or Silver Bullet or something like that?
I want to say it's Silver Phantom. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
We just talked about this.
it's on MetaQuest 2 and 3 where it's a movie, but it's an interactable movie to where you, the player, is the main character in the story, male or female, and you get to choose, and you pilot a mobile suit in 0096, which is in the same year as Gundam Unicorn.
It is Silver Phantom.
Silver Phantom. Okay, couldn't remember. I knew it was Silver something. I thought it was Phantom.
Yeah, I was like Silver.
So, but which is really cool, which I'm excited to see. But I guarantee you, they probably will have, knowing Sunrise, they'll have a demo of Gundam Breaker for sure.
I'm excited. I want to try that. I need some Gunpla, so that's gonna happen.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Which is funny enough, I'm planning on. If anybody knows me, and by my other moniker, Ben of Temeria, I'm a huge Witcher nerd. So I have a lot of Witcher stuff and a lot of Witcher statues. I have 4 or 5 Geralt statues, maybe 6. I can't remember how many Geralt statues I have. But I have like 3 or 4 shelves just full of just Witcher stuff. One of those shelves, I'm planning on putting some statues away, put them in storage, and making it my entire Gunpla, all my Gunpla that I want displayed there.
Fair. I'm thinking this shelf behind me is going to get replaced by a wider one.
Nice. Yeah, and if anybody watches the live stream, Jesse has a Red Hood and a... Oh, what's the top one?
Hellbat.
Hellbat. Yeah.
Let's forget about that.
Gunpla's great.
It's got to take the space.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Especially when they've already shown that there's going to be some exclusives and they didn't reveal what all of the exclusive Gunpla is going to be.
Right. The ones they did show are, if I recall, they're just... Oh, where's my mouse?
There were 3 recolors.
Yeah,
because
there's
it was
some recolors on
Barbatos,
here.
Exia, and one other one, I think.
I can go to it
Actually,
now.
I think all 4 of them are recolors, actually.
I believe so. I'm pulling it up right now. So, yes, they're all master grade. Well, there's 1 high grade. So, 3 master grade, 1 high grade. They have the Gundam Exia, which is a color neon purple. They have an Ailstrike Gundam version RM, which is the recirculation color neon pink. the Gundam Barbatos with a neon blue, which actually looks freaking sweet.
It's too sick. I need
It's
it.
freaking sick. I love that neon blue. I think I have a Barbatos that I haven't even freaking built yet. I have like 5, maybe 6 plus like kits I haven't even built.
If in 2 episodes you guys tune in and watch the live and see in the background a bunch of gunpla back there, mind your business.
Right. And then they have a high grade RX-78-3, so it's the G3 Gundam, and it's the Beyond Global version, which is like a purple. It's a purple recoloring instead of these normal red, blue, and yellow. So yeah, it's cool. And then there's going to be more. So there's going to be a lot more stuff that will be there, which is really cool. But yeah, exclusive items, photo op with a Gundam statue, free workshop kit, playtest video games, and VR experience. And the playtest video games is guaranteeing is gonna break a 3 because, funny enough, the tour ends it ends at the end of October. So it started this weekend, in Illinois, and it ends in Missouri. So, which is
An
freaking
interesting
awesome.
place to end, but
yes, it's going to be in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, twice. It's in 2 different parts of Georgia. Colorado, Washington, Nebraska, and then ending in Missouri. So a lot of great. Like I'm just super excited because. Yeah, various items from the Hobby Online shop will be dropped after the tour. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, it's super exciting.
Do know if you go on the premium Bandai site that Barbatos is already like
sold out,
pre-ordered out.
Oh shit! Well,
So
it better be there.
It better be in person.
I would love to have that Barbatos. Oh my gosh! But yeah, that's a lot of fun stuff going on, and we also get there is a new. I think it's going to be a 6-episode series on Netflix. I think it's 6 or 8. I think it's 6 though. It's called Mobile Suit Gundam Requiem for Vengeance, which is showcasing some. It's in the 1 Year War, so it's in 0079 as the original Gundam, and it's looks like it's mainly following a team of Zeon soldiers as they're coming up against a Gundam, and it's not looking good for them. And really cool thing about this series is it's made completely in Unreal Engine 5.
Which
it's
is
all CG Unreal Engine 5. Why they went that route, I don't know, but
seems like a lot of work. But
I feel like it would just doing
the
standard animation would be easier,
right?
Than doing everything in Unreal Engine, unless they wanted to maybe tie it into one of the games or something like that. But I don't see that happening. So,
and the live action movie that's coming is supposed to still be coming. Okay. It's supposed to be a live action, like shot for shot remake of the original Gundam movie.
Really? I thought they said they were going to do something original, nothing to do with the. But if it's going to be a full just remake of the first film, I mean that's fine.
If that's what they have to do to prove the concept to be able to do original things, I'm here for it.
Right. But personally, I would have just be fine with them doing an original story that had nothing to do with like Amuro or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that way they don't have to tie it in to any specific point.
Well, and that's the other thing is, as you mentioned, with all the timelines, they could have just made their own timeline and been done.
Oh, absolutely. They could have easily just done their own original thing.
Now, I do love Gundam, but not every timeline's a good timeline. So
no,
they could have done one and been fine.
No, not every timeline's a good timeline. That is, yeah. I mean, I can't really think of one on the top. Well, maybe Gundam Age is maybe one of them.
I haven't watched enough of Age to say.
I've only watched like a few episodes of Age, so I need to get on that. And as you're you're all listening to this, we're actually going back and rewatching a lot of the old series to be up to where, I mean, I've watched all majority of the modern stuff, but I never had a chance to watch the original things growing up because
I've
it wasn't
watched
around.
a ton of the original, but I am more behind on the modern things.
Yeah, so Jesse here is good on the old stuff. I'm good on the new stuff, so it works out. While I literally binged 3 series in a week. I watched the original Gundam, MS 8th, or the 8th MS team, and Gundam the Origin all in a week. And currently just started Gundam Zeta. So I
I
will
think
be up there pretty quick.
it's gonna be my goal to get through I've got to get through the rest of the UC before we
Yeah,
finish our first season.
that's literally, honestly, in what my opinion, the UC takes majority of your time because the
Yep.
UC stuff has the longest seasons. Like,
hmm
so the original Gundam was 47 episodes or 42 episodes. Okay, that's not bad. That's an easy one. Then you go to Gundam Zeta, 47. Gundam Double Zeta, Gundam Zeta is 50. Gundam Double Zeta is 47, which is essentially season 2 of Zeta because it's
Right.
it's a sequel series to Zeta. So I mean, the UC stuff takes the majority of the time, where all the other timeline stuff are like 20 some episode seasons, which isn't a lot, and you can binge that
Exactly.
within like a couple days if you just binge the entire thing. And then Dojo, thank you for watching us in chat. Yes, YouTube has the first 3 movies of the original Gundam from Gundam. Yes, it's also on Crunchyroll and on I think Netflix. Yeah, Netflix and Crunchyroll both have the original Gundam 1, 2, and 3 films, and Netflix has the Char's Counterattack, which takes
Yeah.
place after Double Zeta. So, watch all the original stuff before you go watch Char's Counterattack, because I found out there's a lot of characters from Zeta and Double Zeta that appear in Char's Counterattack, which makes a lot of sense.
I will do that.
Yeah. So I'm watching it somewhat in order with the UC stuff. I've already watched all of Unicorn, so I'm not going to rewatch that. I think that's the only other like UC something I've watched.
There's just so many of them. Like, I know you mentioned Eighth. Like, I love Eighth. It's very short, but I love the.
Yeah, it's 12 episodes for 8th
it was just
MS team. If anybody wants to watch it, it's only 12
it's
episodes.
like a nice little
It's on
short,
Hulu.
contained one. The ending is not. Like
The ending's an ending. It's kind of
okay.
better. It's meh. The ending's meh.
It's okay, but
It could have been better.
up to that point, it's great.
Right. And personally, I felt like Shiro was better with Kiki, in my opinion, but that's just me.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I just, the whole like, love at first sight kind of a thing was like, okay. But like, why?
The whole, like the middle section of it, where like the whole episode where it's just him and I don't know why I just watched this and I already cannot remember her name.
Ina?
Yes.
Ina.
There's the whole episode where it's him and Ina, like just trying to survive. Really, twice in a 12 episode span. There's 2 times where they're stranded together, and it's like the second time, it's like, okay, nothing really feels like it came of it this time.
Right. Yeah, and he like declares his love, and I was like,
It's like,
but why? Where did that come from?
It's like, this is like 7 episodes in, buddy. What are you doing?
Right. You saying this kind of like almost does the whole cliche, I'm about to die in battle. Right. And of course he almost did. After he said that. So, Dojo in chat says Thunderbolt is his current favorite, which that is one I need to watch. So there is a lot of Gundam series, so I prefer watching Gundam dubbed. That's just a me thing. Because it's easier for me for all the mechanical and scientific stuff. So where I'm not like not knowing what this word is when I'm trying to read the subtitles. So There's a
fair.
lot of Gundam series. I mean, majority of almost all of them are dubbed, which is super nice. That's because that how much gun. So that's the other thing I love about this series is, for once, like like I believe every single series that there's Gundam, there is a dub for it,
Yeah,
which you normally don't get on a lot of long lasting series like that.
which I definitely love. I mean, some of them are hard to find,
Yes, and
to
that's
be
why you kind
fair,
of have to go
but
to sites that are not probably the great places to watch things.
yep,
If you watch it, make sure you're probably on a secure device like an iPhone or something like that, so you don't have to
definitely.
worry about getting malware.
Yeah, for sure.
To not do it on your computer. So yeah, but so this at this point in time, this is where we normally would do a mid break to thank everybody who's listening. Eventually, we'll set up a Patreon at some point later down the road. But this is where we would thank everybody, shout out reviews and stuff like that. So, but if anybody wants to hear the mid break sounds, I will do those real quick.
Let's do it.
It's a Gundam!
I love that one. That one's
Yeah,
great.
it makes me happy.
And then here's the second one. I loved when I did the sounds.
Yep, they're fantastic.
I went to and found them on soundboards and stuff like that. And they're less than 15 seconds, so we can't get copyright infringement for any of that.
Fantastic.
Gotta love copyright law.
No, it just makes me like, it's a Gundam.
I know.
Always makes me laugh.
It's a Gundam. And then I put Vulcans in there. And the second one's just a Gundam Rising. That's the when they typically get up. And then the last part of that is from the original show, where it's their mid-break song in the middle of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of fun stuff. But, yeah, to talk about how we got into Gundam, as we said earlier, too, I mean, we both started watching Gundam Wing. I watched Gundam Wing, bits and pieces of it, but I really got more into watching G Gundam. That was probably what really got me into the series. And watching anime as a whole, besides all the other Toonami stuff, such as, like, there's Zoids, there was Beyblade, Naruto, a bunch of other stuff.
So
But
much.
there, like, growing up, we were blessed with Toonami. Now, I mean, Toonami is back, but it's not the same.
It's not the same as
Because
what
we
it once
don't
was.
have the anime that we grew up with.
Right.
Well, at least the amounts that we grew up with, like we did. Because when we were growing up, there was animes left and right coming out.
Yeah, I mean, you just think just the big ones, even.
Mm-hmm.
Gundam, Dragon Ball, Naruto, even One Piece was still running back then, because it's never going to end at this
It's
rate.
never, yeah, no, hell no. Bleach. Bleach was a really big one at the time.
Bleach was big and it came back.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Inuyasha, Sailor Moon, like all that stuff was on Toonami.
Speaking of Sailor Moon.
Oh gosh.
So I was just as I was scrolling back through old mobile suits, I saw once again the one from G.
Oh,
From,
Noble
it's like
Gundam.
Sweden, Noble Gundam. And I'm
Yeah.
like, looking at it again.
They
and I'm
literally
like,
based it off of Sailor Scout.
They just made Sailor Scout into a Gundam here.
Yes, they did. Oh my god, they did.
And it's fantastic. Like, he throws hula hoops. It's
Yes.
great.
It's a phenomenal Gundam. And really fun thing with collaborations, during the 40th anniversary of Gundam, and I think it was the 35th or 30th anniversary of Hello Kitty, they did a collaboration where they did SD Gundams of Hello Kitty as Gundam, and they had another character as a Zaku.
It's fantastic.
And I was like, oh my god, this is adorable. This is fantastic. Why? But yeah, I mean, they've done, I mean, that was really only the other, like, that's, I think, one of the only collaborations that I'm aware of. personally.
I feel like they haven't done many official ones, but if like you go online, you can find so many fan made ones that are
Oh yeah. Oh, you will find
sometimes really
so many
good,
fan made.
sometimes not so much. But
Yeah, and I mean, and that's what in recent years is really what I love about the Gunpla stuff is they made all the kits compatible with each other to where you
Mhm.
can create your own unique Gundam or Gunpla. Out of all the kits, you can just mash them together and make your own,
Right,
which I love that stuff. Which is based off, the Gundam Breaker series.
right,
Which we, as we said earlier in the first half, Gundam Breaker 4 is coming at the end of the month, where it's a game where you make your own Gunpla and you control it. And I played the network test, the first network test last month in July. Freaking loved it. I really love how there's an entire English voice cast for this one, which is
thank
super
God.
nice. I mean, I'm okay with with English subtitle games, and
Right,
with Gundam makes sense because it's mainly Japanese. But with how big Gundam has been getting and how every Gundam series has a dub, has an English dub, it's surprising that Gundam games haven't been getting dubs until Gundam Breaker 4.
right. Which I'm
And
excited for it to be.
technically Gundam Operations or Battleground Operations Battleground 2 has a dub, but that was added in like 2 or 3 years, 4 years after the launch.
A little late.
Yeah.
In fact, way too late.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. As I booted up the game, it's like, there's an actual, go into settings, you can change the voice. And it's like, there's English? What? Changes my entire world.
Right.
But yes, and they, what's really cool is Gundam Info's been, I get notifications when they do tweets and whatnot. So they've been announcing steadily the voice cast for Gundam Breaker 4, and which is really cool. Because here, let me pull it up on my Twitter or X or whatever the heck you want to call it. Because
I gave up.
I
As
gave
far
up
as I'm
on calling
concerned,
it
it's still
whatever.
Twitter.
Yeah, that's what. Same here. I tweet. It still says tweet, so it's Twitter.
Yep.
But they did announce so if you play the network test, you do meet your first companion, which is Tao, who is voiced by Griffin Burns, who you may know as Yamagiri Gilmerton in Blood Iron Orphans, or Iron Blooded Orphans, which is really cool. So he's already in Gundam. We have Meister Jin is Damon Mills, who is also Zach Joel in Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom, as well as you may know as the voice of Frieza from Dragon Ball Super.
They did have to replace. I always forget that was a replacement.
Right. And then we have Jim Foronda as Mr. Gumpla, who is he's the big MC from Gundam
I love
Breaker
him.
3. I don't know if he was in 1 and 2, but he's definitely in 3. And he is a real life Gundam mega fan on top of being a voice actor. And he plays, if you listen to, he's Claptrap in Borderlands 3. He is also Muscular in My Hero Academia.
It's a real interesting villain.
Yes.
But that's a whole different podcast.
I'm just like seeing him and like seeing his headshot and knowing he plays Muscular. And I was like, really? That guy's Muscular? I mean, I
Fair
can't
enough.
say much because if you see me, you expect my voice coming out of my mouth, but I can do going down to voices like this. And I can go deeper. I could go really high, which I'm not going to do in this mic because that would be, I'll do that later when I audition for stuff. But really, really cool. And on the 8th, when this episode drops, Gundam Info is doing a giant live stream event on their YouTube and Twitch channel, showcasing all the voice actors for the English version of Gundam Breaker 4. And get to meet and know their characters and a bunch of stuff. So, and they did announce Misa, who is a character from Gundam Breaker 3, is returning to Gundam Breaker 4.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
That's
Mr.
fun.
Gunpla is another character, and they announced Rico, who is the MC in the game as well, which if you play the network test, you can see a go to a billboard and she talks to you about the latest news in GB4 and stuff like that, which is really cool.
That'll
But
definitely be fun.
yes. But I'm oh god, I can't tell you how how excited I am for Gundam Breaker 4. Holy crap, I'm so pumped for it. I still need to beat
For
Gundam
sure.
Breaker 3, so like I'm probably after we get done recording and I get it edited and everything, I might go play some Gundam Breaker 3 before I go to bed.
There's a decent chance that I will go play some Maxi Boost.
Maxi Boost, yes. And there, I mean, if anybody wants to play Gundam games, there are plenty of Gundam games you can download. Now, I will say Gundam Breaker 4 is on PC, Switch, and PlayStation. So, I'm sorry, Xbox players, you will not be able to play it. It sucks, I know. But it's on all the other consoles. I know most Xbox people I know have a Switch or a PC.
Right. Now, how well it's
So,
going to run on the Switch?
supposedly in the network test, it played very well.
I would hope so.
Because they
but
did the network. The network test is on Switch and PlayStation for the last one, including this one coming up this weekend is also on the Switch and PlayStation as well. So I'm getting it on PlayStation because that's what I'm used to playing Gundam on. So, but there is Gundam Breaker or Gundam Operations. What? Hang on. Gundam
What is
Operations
it?
Battleground 2.
Battle Operations
Battle
2?
Operations 2.
I think I
Thank you.
have it.
Gundam Battle Operations 2. Title always gets me. So there's that, which is a multiplayer game. There's Code Fairy, which is the single player campaign version of that same game,
Mhm.
which that one you do have to buy. There's New Gundam Breaker. Don't. There is Gundam Versus, Gundam Maxi Boost, which those two games are arena fighters. And then there is SD Gundam Battle Alliance. Those are
Super
all
deformed.
the Gundam games that you can currently buy on PlayStation and PC. PC does have some other ones, which are the SD Generation style games, which are the tactics games. I think they only have I think they have Cross Rays, which is the one that's not the UC stuff. It's the other timelines. I think
so,
that's that deals with Seed, Double O, Iron Blooded Orphans, and there's a fourth one. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Oh shoot.
Oh, I don't remember.
I can't remember. It's Iron Blooded Orphans, Double O, Seed, and Wing. Is it? It's Wing. Code Fairy is only available on PlayStation. Oh, is it really? I thought that was on. I thought they put it on PC already.
Did not know that.
Did not know Code Fairy was only on PlayStation. Well, that sucks. Code Fairy is fun. I actually just finished it last week. Finally.
And if you are
story
down
pack,
to
yeah.
buy games, it is on sale right now.
Code Fairy?
It is on sale for $9.99 right now on PlayStation. So
Nice.
if you're interested in playing a story version,
You
you've
can
got
get
it.
the item pack on PC. Oh, okay. Thank you, Dojo. But yeah, Code Fairy is fun. It tells a story of a all-girl squad in the Zeon forces in the North America theater of the 1 Year War. It's a very interesting story, very fun. It starts off slow, but gets progressively better. The ending is also bittersweet. It's like it's a good ending, but like you kind of want more from it. It's like, man, why wasn't there more to this? Why can we get like one
Fair.
more story pack after the 1 Year War? No, okay, whatever. But yeah, there's Gundam games that you can play, or you can buy Gundam Breaker 3 for PlayStation. You can get it on Amazon, the English subtitle version. You can get it on Amazon. Typically, it's Prime too, which is really nice. You just have to get used to the controls. That's it. But yeah,
But I mean, if you like to play games on Switch usually, aren't the buttons already switched around on Switch? So you should be used to it.
Yeah, but Gundam Breaker 3's not on Switch because the Switch didn't exist.
That's fair.
Yeah, the first Gundam Breaker on Switch is the only
But
Gundam Breaker on Switch
if you're
before.
big on Nintendo things, mainly, and you have a PlayStation, your select and everything are going to be the same as on your Switch or whatever other Nintendo thing you like to play.
Yeah, because that's how the button layout is. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I heavily enjoy Gundam Breaker. They did a mobile version. They did a mobile Gundam Breaker mobile. It
Mhm.
lasted about 7 to 8 years, and then they finally shut it down right before I was about to get into the good story stuff with Gundam Breaker
Of
3
course.
because they did the during its last year of its run, they did a collaboration with Gundam Breaker 3. And I never got to get to that collaboration and they
Yep.
ended the service. I was like, "Are you effing serious? At least keep it going and just take PvP off or something." I'm just curious why they shut it down. It was doing so
It's not
well.
the only Gundam game that's been shut down that has been upsetting lately.
Oh yeah, Gundam Evolution. I completely forgot
I,
about that game. It was the
like it's
Gundam
been shut down for
Overwatch
like a
game.
year now, but it was so
It
much
it
fun.
only
Like
lasted a year.
exactly.
And I think it's
And
because let's be honest, there's
it,
so many Overwatch clones, and that's why.
and it had really bad monetization, but
That's true too.
still a little sad about it.
Yeah. Oh, and Dojo says Gundam Breaker 3 got him into Gunpla. That's
That
awesome.
is
Which
definitely
I
awesome.
mean, Gundam Breaker's the best out of anything Gundam to get you into Gunpla, because
Because it
you're just
literally is
using
Gunpla.
Gunpla. It is Gunpla. And if anybody likes Gundam Breaker or wants to know a little bit more about how Gundam Breaker is, go and watch if you can find it. It is all subbed on, or some of the sub, or for Gundam Breaker or Gundam Build Divers and Divers Re-Rise are on Crunchyroll. They are only subtitled, but you can watch them there. And I think no, Build Fighters is also on there too. It's only
I
subbed.
think they all are.
Well, they're only a subbed, but that's essentially what Gundam Breaker is where everyday people make you kit bash and make your own gunpla, and it comes to life with a
Hmm.
simulation or with either some sort of technology, or it gets scanned into a VR setting and you just battle things. Which, yeah, I love the Gundam build stuff.
I
The
love it.
the dub. Okay, so Fighters and Fighters Try dub is kind of cringy because I don't know who they got to do the dubs, but it was not the best. And then Divers and Diver Re-Rise come out, and the dub is significantly better. Like a major difference better than Build
Fair.
Fighters and Fighters Try. And I don't care what Fighters Try say that Build Burning Gundam's not based off of Burning Gundam or slash God Gundam. I don't care what they say, it is.
It is.
They say, "Oh, this is an original Gundam. It's not based off anything." It's
No,
like
it's
it's
not.
called Build Burning Gundam, and it has the same head type and same body type as the
It's
God slash
it's
Burning Gundam.
it's Burning Gundam. I don't care what
And
is
I don't
said.
care what, and especially when you get to the very end of the episode or of the season, they show a Domon Kashu, and I was like, "Really? You're really not telling me that's Burning Gundam now when you see a
Yep.
Domon Kashu? Really?" And the main character at some point uses the burning finger essentially in one of the
Yeah.
episodes. And it's like, okay,
You can't tell me
you,
it's
you
not.
can't tell me this is not Burning Gundam.
That's
Don't
what I
tell me that.
really do.
Because
I
that's what
still want.
that's one of the producers like, oh, it's not based off Burning God Gundam. And it's like,
Yeah,
bullshit.
like
BS.
yeah,
It
right.
totally is.
And that's part of what I really want them to do a anime of the Crossbones manga. Just because
Oh, Crossbone.
I
Well,
need an animated Crossbones. I've never been able to find it.
I
So
thought they did do a Crossbones. Isn't
I
it Gundam
think it
X?
pops up in something, but it's not like the main one like it is in its own manga.
Isn't Crossbones in Gundam X?
I think he shows up, but I don't
After
think it's
War
the main
Gundam
one.
X. I think that's the one.
I think he's in it.
There's the uses the satellite. Gundam series following G Gundam and Mobile Suit Gundam Wing.
Because it is in the X manga. I know that for sure.
Okay. Let's
But
see.
I don't.
Mobile suits. Oh dear God, there's so many. Gundam
Oh,
X,
there's a
Double
billion.
X, X Divider. He says the Crossbones.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? Let me look. The number. It's like the XMX1 or something.
Gundam Double X.
Yeah. XMX1 Crossbone Gundam. But there's one when it gets further into this, when you get further in, where they have it wear like the cloth and everything
Oh
in one of the
yeah.
pictures, and it just looks sick. And if I remember right, there is a manga panel where it like the skull on it actually opens up to vent heat.
Oh,
So it
that's
just
cool.
looks, yeah. So it's one of those things like I really want this to just be, and I almost guarantee it'll be in Breaker 4.
Oh yeah, Crossbones definitely going to be in Breaker.
So
Looks
there's
like I
a
believe it. Yeah, it was. Was it in any of the animation? That's what I want to know. I think it was only in the manga. Yeah, it's looking like it's only in the manga. Boo, that's boring. Now, there is in Gundam Build Fighters Try, there is an animated version of a custom built of the Crossbones Gundam. So there is a custom built one. So.
that's close. We'll take it. We'll take it as a win.
And actually, yeah, it's not even in Gundam Breaker 1 or 2, 3. That's interesting.
I know it's in Maxi Boost. I think they have like every variant of it in Maxi Boost, which is wild. 'Cause
That's
there's
cool.
like 4 variants, but I don't think it's been in any of
It's
them.
in Gundam Breaker Mobile. So it's in that
Hopefully
one.
that means they'll bring it
So
forward.
yeah, there's a lot of hope because with Gundam Breaker 4, they did confirm a lot of. So there's going to be over 250 kits. It's the most kits that we will have in a Gundam Breaker game. I think Gundam Breaker 3 had around almost 200. I think almost, and then a
Mhm.
New Gundam Breaker, I think had around the same as Gundam Breaker 3. Because obviously that game didn't do too well, so they didn't want to support it anymore. It was a one-shot game, and people didn't like it. And honestly, it would have done better if they didn't do the freaking replacement mechanic.
Mhm.
If they didn't have that mechanic in the game, it wouldn't have done as badly as it did.
Yep.
That's literally what made everybody mad. Is like myself, I spent like 2 hours making my own like perfect Gundam to play in the game, and then you get into their first match, and it's like, all right, cool, and then one of my arms gets blown off. You have to replace it with another arm you find on the battlefield. I was like, but
Like why?
why? I no. And then
Why
you
did I
get
spend
done,
all
and
this time then?
you get done with the match, and your Gundam looks completely kit bashed into an ugly monstrosity of abomination.
Right.
And it's like, no, 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 no. I don't like that. So yeah, and the story was weird because they did the whole like rom-com like path dating sim thing, which like here's 3 heroines, which one do you choose? I was like, really? Like, do we have to do this? Like,
Like,
no,
I'm
I
not
don't
generally
want
opposed to
to.
those, but it's not something I need shoehorned in.
Right, like make it like so.
Put that in a Persona game.
Yeah, do that. You do that in Persona, or just like how Gundam Breaker Mobile did. You have dialogue choices when it pops up,
Mhm.
and it's like you can like be flirtatious to certain characters and stuff like that. Fun fact: Gundam Breaker 4 will have dialogue options because playing the network test when you're talking to Tao, you can actually tell Tao like specific like when specific things pop up, you can give him like specific answer of like one of 3 options typically.
Okay.
I
Well,
was
that's
like,
fun.
oh,
At least.
sweet. They brought that
Give me
back
some
from Gundam
options.
Breaker Mobile. Sweet. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. But, God, this just talking about more Gundam wants me to go play more Gundam.
Right. There's a lot of good Gundam that is out, and there's a lot of good Gundam things coming. So
Yes.
it's like,
Oh, absolutely. It's great. But we are getting to the end of this episode. We did a long, we did an hour. That's impressive for us doing a meet the host thing. And I mean, this is just for everybody to understand why we're doing the podcast, why we're super excited doing this podcast, because we just love Gundam. Like,
yep.
it was a huge part of our lives, and it still is to this day. Especially since we're going to a Gundam base event for one,
Right.
which for one, I would never have thought that would ever happen in my life, to where I can go to a Gundam base event that's not in Japan.
Right. Like, I cannot believe, especially like, it's Ohio. Why is it
Right?
coming
Yeah,
here?
we're in Ohio, and it's like, really, we get something cool for once, because we don't get shit.
We never get
When
anything.
anything cool comes around, we don't get jack. Like, I was so hoping, because I do, the Wizard World Lorecast, so I was hoping it's like, oh, sweet, freaking the Cursed Child is going on tour. Here's New York City, California, and Chicago, and it's like, Ohio has a giant theater too.
Yep.
Can you
A
come
few.
to Columbus? Like, I'll yeah, there are a few. There's one really big one in Cincinnati. I was like, of course we get shoehorned, but yeah, I'm
Right.
super excited. I think they might have done a deal with Hobbytown, because it's all
I think
at
they did, because
Hobbytown.
there's just so many hobby towns.
There's
Yeah.
Hobbytowns everywhere. It's crazy.
I didn't actually know one was so close until we saw this was coming.
There's
I'm
one
like,
30 minutes away
that's-
from me.
I'm like,
What?
that's not good.
Yeah, there's one 30 minutes away from me too. But it's in a really like bad spot of it's a one, like, you go on the road, you can only turn like right on the road. You
Yeah.
can't, like, if you're on the opposite side, you can't turn left in the parking lot.
Yeah, not
Sucks.
great.
So yeah, normally just get my Gunpla from either USA Gundam, which is a phenomenal site if anybody goes to USA Gundam, or Amazon, because
I
2-day shipping.
may or may not have just seen that the official Bandai store on Amazon has a master grade crossbone for 47.
Really? Oh, that's not bad.
I'm like, that's pretty cheap for a master grade. So,
Master grades are normally in like the $60 range for anybody to know.
right.
So that's not bad. Yeah, I
Yeah,
still
so-
have. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any master grades. I think all my kits are high grade. No, you know what?
I
I
don't have
might
any
have.
kits of
I
it.
might have one master grade, and that's Narrative Gundam from
Mm.
the Gundam narrative movie,
hmm
and it's the A pack, which is like the big giant hulking machine it can sit in with a
Oh,
bunch of
yeah.
missile packs and stuff like that. Because then if you haven't watched Narrative Gundam, the Narrative Gundam has 3 different packs. There's A, B, and C, and each of them have different equipment that the Narrative Gundam can use. And the Narrative Gundam can use the NDT system, or NTD, New Type Destroyer System, which is a power boost fighting new types, which at this point most Gundam pilots are new types, so
Right.
in the UC timeline. So, but before we end, we will tell everybody our favorite mobile suits. So, Jesse, what is your favorite mobile suit? I'm guessing Crossbones, because how excited you
So,
are.
I do love Crossbones, but the one, and this may be because this is my favorite series, which, and it's not in the UC, which is fun because for whatever reason, most of my favorite things aren't in the UC when it comes to
Yeah,
Gundam.
no, mine aren't either. Honestly,
Is-
like, it's all the standard, its own continuity stuff.
I love 00, and I love the Arios Gundam in it, the orange one.
Ooh,
Especially
okay, yeah.
like when they start to upgrade it and get the other variants, like when it's Harate and it's a 2-seater Gundam.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just cool.
And
So,
for
yeah.
anybody who's watched 00, it's great. The 00 anime is phenomenal. Don't watch the film.
Yeah. Haven't done it. I will not.
It will destroy Double O because it's the only Gundam series that introduced aliens, and it ended really bad, and hence since why they haven't introduced aliens ever again in the Gundam universe, because it was
They probably
executed
won't.
badly and it was only in a film.
Terrible.
I
It's just a bad idea.
just
Right,
don't bring anim. Don't bring. I know everything's in space, but you don't
And-
have to bring aliens into the mix.
And I mean, like, I get it if it's like, oh, where these are really humans, but they're not humans because they're from another planet. Fine.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But they're
I
like
could have dealt.
aliens, kind of like it's
But
like
when they're like,
taking over people's bodies and like making people
Here-
evil and
it's
taking
like, here
control of
comes
things. and it's like-
Starro.
yeah,
Starro
pretty
in
much.
Gundam.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't need it.
It's like Starro the starfish from DC.
don't need
Anybody
that.
doesn't know who that is, go look it up. He's a
It's
hilarious
hilarious.
villain. He's a hilarious villain, but he's an alien that is a starfish that takes over people's minds by placing other starfish on people.
It's great. Terrible, but great.
Yeah.
Has no place in Gundam.
No, God, no. Go. Oh, heck no. No place in Gundam whatsoever. But for me, oh gosh, that is a hard one, actually, now that I think about it. I loved Shining Gundam growing up with G Fighter. And also Burning Gundam with it, which is essentially an upgraded version of Shining Gundam. I really love those Gundams, but yeah, I don't know. It's a really hard choice because there's so many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love the Double O as well. The Double O was epic, or not Double O. Sorry, the O Gundam, the first variant,
yep.
or Exia,
Exia.
Gundam Exia. I loved the Exia. The Exia was awesome. But I mean, if I had to choose one favorite, it would probably be Shining Gundam because that's what I really grew up on. And a lot of growing up, I had a Shining Gundam 12-foot action figure that was made of hard plastic and transform, and like the core fighter could come out of the back, and you can have that as a separate piece, which is really cool. And it can go into its super mode, which is even better.
Oh, nice.
So it's a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff I had. But yeah, all my great memories were from G Gundam, which, if you play Gundam Breaker 3, they have a lot of suits from G Gundam. Well, not a lot, but they have the most they've ever had. They have Shining, Burning, Master, the Dragon, and Noble, and Rising Gundam. They have 6 suits from G Fighter.
That is a ton.
Which is considering a lot from one series.
There are a lot
And
of suits in G Gundam.
Yeah, we can dive a little bit into, we can say a little bit over, but anybody who hasn't watched G Gundam is, so Gundam itself, which we'll talk about in our next episode with what is Gundam, as a franchise. Gundam started a whole new genre, and with G Gundam, it wasn't in the genre that Gundam originally created. It was kept with the shonen aspect of just fighting things. So it's a giant tournament with all the countries are in space now, and they use Earth as essentially as a battleground, and where they just fight the crap out of each other. And every nation has a unique mobile suit. So Japan has Shining Gundam, and then eventually Burning Gundam, where Asia, I don't know what Master Asia is originally from China, isn't he? Or China, or no, he's from Japan, I think too.
I think it was originally from Japan, and then turns evil and
he turns evil and all that.
All that stuff.
And then there's the United States had Gundam Maxter, which is literally a boxer, a Gundam that just boxed.
There were so many
China was
ones.
the Dragon Gundam.
That one was beautiful.
I love the Dragon Gundam. Sweden Sweden had Noble Gundam, which is the Sailor Scout version of Gundam, which is hilarious. And it looks like it's wearing a Sailor Scout uniform. By the way, if you think Sailor Moon, that is what the Gundam is wearing.
It's great.
That's awesome. But yeah, there's so many different mobile suits in G Gundam. It probably has one of the most,
The funny thing is, the manga has more than the anime, and there's already a ton of the anime.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the manga is significantly longer than 26 episodes. Or, I think it was like 20-something episodes of G Gundam, and that was it. But we
It was
are
not
getting
long.
a light novel sequel to G Gundam for this year, being the 30th anniversary, which is really cool. And knowing Sunrise as they are, they're going to animate it, more than likely, because it's
And I'm
Sunrise.
here for it.
Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm excited to see anything G Gundam related. And if they don't have anything G Gundam related at this freaking Gundam-based mobile tour, I'll be very sad.
Worst case scenario, you can go in the hobby town and they'll have something.
Right, but I already have a Burning Gundam. And I already have a Shining Gundam. I already have those two.
Oh, hey, maybe if we're lucky, we'll go inside and we'll get a zebra Gundam or something.
Ooh, it would be cool to see a Funsaiki.
I want Tequila Gundam. This is what I need in my
Oh my
life.
god, Tequila Gundam is hilarious. Yes. That one was in the he fought Domon fought Tequila Gundam, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure he does.
When he goes to
They
Mexico.
don't always call it Tequila Gundam. I think they call it.
No, they called it something
They
different
call
in
it that
the
and like
anime.
Spike Gundam or something like that. or
Yeah,
the
they
other.
called it different in the anime than what the manga is because of censorship in the
But-
U.S.
Yeah.
Because censorship. But anyway, but I mean, despite the censorship, it was on a 3 p.m. block.
Yeah.
And when Domon goes into the mobile suit and gets into his, leotard thing to control the Gundam, they didn't really censor a whole lot. I mean, they censored it and they didn't censor it.
Yeah.
It was also like the 90s, early 2000s, so it wasn't as heavy.
Right.
So, I don't know. But anyway, I think that's all we got for today's episode. Is there anything you want to add before we sign off, Jesse?
Just make sure you tune in to catch up with kind of more of the Gundam series.
Yes. Stay tuned for more episodes. They will be coming out every Thursday, starting this week, as in August the 8th. And every week after that, there'll be more new episodes of the Gundam Lorecast. And now that think about it, we need to come up with a end phrase for the show, because all my other shows have end phrases.
Right.
I already have a thing when we start is like welcome pilots or welcome back pilots, because that makes sense.
Ooh. Yeah, that one does make sense.
But like signing off, I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't have an answer right now.
Right? So we'll get back to you, everybody, on the next week's episode. So stay tuned, have a nice one, and thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the Gundam Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share how you got into the Gundam series, and you can even find us on Twitter at Gundam Lorecast, and even email us at gundamlorecast@outlook.com.